idea something or another from Smogon, so here we go. He leads with Nambipalm, and I lead with Tuft, my jump glove. And so I stay in to take the fake out. I don't know why. I could have just gone straight out to Steelix, but, you know, I don't know. So I got to Steelix now, and he switches into a Blastoise. And I know I can live a Surf, and I want to Toxic this thing, but he goes for a Yawn, and I miss, and that kind of sucks. So I predict to switch into something that can take a Toxic, so I switch into Rotom. And I make the fairly nice prediction there as he switches into Registeel. And I'm able to get a free sub up as he Stealth Rocks. And so basically I can just set up all over this Registeel because it can't really do anything to me. So I go for a Charge Beam, get a special attack raise, and his Iron Head is unable to break my sub, and that's really good right now. So I go for a second Charge Beam, and even though it doesn't do anything, I get my second special attack raise, and that's really sweet. He's able to break my sub with the second Iron Head, but right now it's not that much of a concern because I'm basically like really set up. So he switches into a Doug Trio, but I guess predicting another Charge Beam, but I just decide to sub up. And that works out perfectly for me because he tries to go for the Pursuit and he can't kill me, and I'm able to kill him off with a Shadow Ball. So that works out really well. And yeah, so yeah, Rotom's awesome. So I heal some stuff with lefties, blah blah blah. He goes into Ambipom, and I don't want to take a payback, so I just go into Steelix because Steelix can take everything and doesn't afraid of anything, and etc etc. And by the way, Tube Sock is such a wit name for Steelix. It's just amazing. So he goes into Steelix, obviously predicting a Toxic, but I just decide to set up some SR. And I predict his Will-O-Wisp, and I just go into KFC. Sorry, Jimmy, for stealing your nickname. And so he goes for the Will-O-Wisp, but it fails. So I go for the Fire Blast, and he switches into Blastoise, which is kind of bad. But Fire Blast still does a huge amount, and I'm just like, whoa, that's a lot. So I think I can kill it with Hidden Power, which I'm not going to say if it's Electric or Grass. Thank you very much. And so Hidden Power is able to take it out, because thankfully this Blastoise isn't especially defensive. It's probably defensive. So that's really cool. So he switches into Ambipom. Obviously I'm fearing the Fake Out, but he makes a double switch, which is actually really clever, and he goes into freaking Weezing. And I'm like, oh crap, I can't stay in with Tube Sock. So I predict like a Thunderbolt or something. So I switch into Rotom, but he actually has Flamethrower, and that kind of sucks. I probably should have just gone out to Blaziken, but I really couldn't risk losing one of my main sweepers. So I try and set up a sub. Maybe he'll try and burn me, I don't know. But he just goes for a Flamethrower. And so that's kind of lame. It was basically a useless turn. I could have just gone into Blaziken, but I basically just wasted a whole turn seeing what he would do. So now I go into Blaziken, who takes some Stealth Rock damage, and he makes another good switch and goes into Ambipom, and I'm just like, oh shit. So this time I go into In Your DS Law, predicting the switch into Weezing, but he goes for the Fake Out anyways, and I don't want to stay in for the payback, so again I switch to Tube Sock, and Tube Sock takes payback like a beast, and like it doesn't do anything to him. So he withdraws and goes to Weezing, and I nail that prediction, and I switch out and I go to Tuft. And Tuft is all cool, even though it takes a buttload from Stealth Rock, and I just am hoping to put it to sleep, which I do, which is pretty cool. And so Weezing is basically crippled. So from here on I can basically set up all over it. So I go for a sub, which is really cool because Weezing can't do anything, but it frickin' wakes up on the first turn and gets off a Flamethrower, and that was kinda gay. Didn't really make too much of a difference in the long run, but it's still like one turn wake up, really. It's still kinda gay. So we both gain lefties, and I just put it to sleep again. I don't know why he didn't switch out. This really isn't that favorable of a matchup, because I have Leech Seed on this guy, so whatever. He withdraws and goes to Ambipom, but I just sub up again. I didn't want to deal with Flamethrower, whatever. He fakes out, but since I'm behind the sub, I'm not going to flinch, and that's awesome. So I'm able to get off a leech seed on it, and that's pretty cool, because leech seed will do a bunch. Now, here I predict his U-turn. Well, in a sec, I predict his U-turn. And I go into Rotom, because I know Rotom's going to die to basically anything he does. And he does U-turn, and that's really cool, because I get to see what he goes into, and I basically get a free switch. He ends up going into Registeel, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So I just go, well, in a second, I just go into Blaziken, because Blaziken's just like, roar, I'm firing my fire laser, rah! And he like toasts the Braille Fail with his Mega Fire Blast, and it's all like, I'm dead, cause metal doesn't like fire, rah! And so Registeel goes down, and he brings an Ambipom, and I'm just like, oh god, again? So I switch out to Tubesock again, and he just U-turns away. And I'm like, oh great. And he withdraws, and goes to a Regirock, and I'm just like, whoa, what's this, a Regirock? And Regirock is kind of a beast, but I'm not too scared of it. And he goes for a Rock Polish, and he was kind of, that wasn't the smartest move. He probably shouldn't have brought Regirock out on Steelix. He should have brought Weezing out and then made a double switch, because right now, I was able to get up the Toxiconic, and that will basically prevent him from sweeping. That, plus the fact that his Earthquake does like nothing, basically means that he wasted his Regirock, and Tubesock doesn't take like anything from EQ, and I just go to Tuft, who Earthquake doesn't even affect, and Regirock goes down without doing like anything. So that was a pretty nice series of plays on my part. And so he's down to only two guys, his Weezing and his freaking Ambipom. And so I get up a Leech Seed on the Weezing, but he gets a 2-turn Wake this time. I suppose it's slightly better than a 1-turn Wake, but it doesn't matter too much. Tuft goes down, whatever. I have some other stuff that can take on Weezing. So I bring in KFC, who's now like epic within Blaze range. He should have left Weezing in there, I think, because, I mean, he would have been better at sweeping with Ambipom than he would with Weezing, even though I guess Steelix, I don't know. But basically, Blaziken, haha, just realized that was a joke. Blaziken takes out both Coughing and Ambipom, and that's the game. Good game. Exodia something. Exodia80 something. Anyways, rate, comment, and sub, guys. Peace out. Update video soon.